Okay, it should be, which means being live streamed.
Comes down to Mount Union. I mentioned
Okay.
the Raiders rebounding. They average
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay. All right, cool. So, and then when Wabash has the stream, so as soon as okay.
I'm gonna do it again. Mac, wait, Max,
Okay.
you're muted. I'm just gonna start talking.
So I'm the screen share guy. Okay. You're the play-by-play.
assist game.
Test.
And 5%.
So if you have joined for the Oberlin YoCast, we are just getting things set up. Currently playing a replay of the Oberlin women's basketball game versus Mount Union. The men's stream will be going live from the Wabash Athletic Casting. Be getting that set up.
Get a half percent. Mount Union with its fifth miscue. Now foul. Men's on a reach in against Kudik. Kudik, sophomore from Mentor, Ohio. Most of these Mount Union players hail from the Buckeye State, save for Mila Klein of Holland, New York. And Gretchen Coulter.
We good?
Hails from Harmony, PA. Seven, make it 28 of 28 at the line. And all that nets is the possession to continue and a free ball for the Raiders. And now we are tied.
I'm joined here now with my fellow co-hosts, John Schooner, and joining us momentarily will be Jack Povolitis. We'll be seeing if the Wabash stream will be up.
Cannon. Aptly named, launches one from distance. No good. Rebound this time comes down to Oberlin. Kumler with the board. Jefferson up top. Namolsky left side. Up top to Kumler. Kumler drives the lane, draw contact. And she'll be headed to the line, I believe. Michaela Dunkel. Another top scorer. Listen for the foul. As well. And so tonight she is back in as well. Jaden O'Reilly is back in. Sierra Schlosser is back in. That has helped them in some matchups. But today they're really going to start finding some players that they can rely on when the game gets rough. Kubler at the free throw line. We're going to go to kind of start 9 on the year in an ugly victory, and that was something they didn't have that they brought through.
Yeah, and then coming off the bench and on his house, the out today. So there's slight disadvantage.
Next on both. Kobe's back in front by 4. 90 seconds to go here in the first. Haywood is whistled for traveling. 6 turnovers now for Mount Union. Oberlin has been 14 and 18 per contest.
Should be working now.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Plus 2 per game, and that's going to be a tough matchup. Jefferson extricates herself.
oh, this is looking good.
Make sure you're muted.
10 bingo. Kobe's by 6 on a 6-0 run. After the Raiders had tied it, Nash finds Cannon.
Wabash definitely is looking to get back on track today.
We're going to take
We're probably gonna have to mute because there's gonna be announcers.
get to our starting lineups, our national anthem, and of course tip-off. We'll be back soon here, the Wabash College Video Network.
There's something just very visceral about coming to this place. Just from a pure fan standpoint, it's far more exciting than any other form of racing. Wabash was a place that always expected more of me than I did of myself. There is a.
There we go. We should have the Wabash stream up.
I don't know if that's
The
but you put yourself-
men's team getting nice and warmed up. Wabash is always putting together a quality stream. Their networking community, getting their ads going today. I'm joined here, Jack Povolitis, fellow basketball fanatic, may have seen us on the call for the men's and women's soccer team this year. John Schooner, also a basketball fanatic. He had joined me and Jack for a couple of men's and women's soccer games, and we'll be taking part in the YoCast, the honorary and inaugural YoCast. Well, Jack, John, could you introduce yourselves? Maybe talk a little bit to this Wabash or Oberlin offense and how this team will be setting up today.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it should be an exciting matchup today. The Yeomen have shown flashes earlier in the season. Facing a very formidable opponent here, the number 25 team in the country, Wabash. We got to be excited about this one. It would be a huge win for the Yeomen early on in this conference schedule. It's going to be a good one. I'll shoot it over to Jack.
Yeah, listen, this Yeoman squad has plenty of talent. It's a new coaching staff this year. It's a little bit of an adjustment as, players that got recruited are working with a different coach. But from what it sounds like is everybody's come in with a fresh set of eyes, a fresh set of legs, and this Yeoman squad is really looking to put it together. After the national anthem, I'm going to give you the keys to victory, Max and John. I got 3 of them for you. The Yeoman can do these 3. I think they're going to pull through. And we got this dynamic duo, the Montenegrin 2 towers, as they call them, Demi and Georgie. And so if those guys can play well, it's going to look good for us. There's something to be said for playing in a hostile environment, I think, for this squad. That's going to be a test for them for sure. Playing away is a lot different than playing at home, and we know the Squirrel's Nest is a comfortable place for them to play. That gym is nice, it's loud, it's rowdy. Oberlin fans like to show up and show out, and Wabash fans are the same. Like John said, 25th in the nation. They're no joke. This is going to be a tough for them, but I think that if things come together and they can resist that crowd noise a little bit, they're going to be a formidable opponent. Keep your eye out for the Chadwick Crazies. I've been told by Oliver Rips, the Yeoman manager, that's looking for the Wabash student fans in overalls. They're a little rowdy, a little crazy. They're going to be some people to look out for. But I think now's as good a time any. These might be backwards because I'm sharing the screen, but these are the keys to victory. All right. Number 1. Wait, let me find it. Rise to the moment. Like we said, 25th team in the nation, this Yeoman squad, about 500. They know they've got talent. They're trying to figure it out. They got to rise to the moment here. Come up. It's a little bit David versus Goliath in some ways, but you know how that story ends. So they gotta fundamentally just come after it. The second, turnovers. All right. This has been the Yeoman's Achilles heel. 13.7 turnovers a game for the yellow and gold. Or excuse me, not yellow and gold, red and gold. And their opponents have 10.9. It's a margin of almost 3. Turnovers are going to win you or lose you games. Rebounds, turnovers, free throws. Those are the key fundamentals to winning any basketball game. So the Yeoman got to take care of the ball. Their point guard, Yuki, best turnover assist ratio in the country for Division III basketball. He takes care of it. Can the rest of them? And the last one, eggs and baskets, as I like to call it. Demi and Georgie are the only two players to average over 10 points a game for the Yeomen. Can they get scoring from somewhere else? Yuki's Hand, who's the third highest scorer. He's been having a little bit of an injury with it. He looks healthy now. Can we look to Will? Can we look to Henry? Can we look to AG? Can we look to some of these other guys to put up some points, have a good day, hit their shots, play good fundamental basketball? If one or two of those guys can step up and Demi and Georgie play like we know they can, this is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I think really what we want to look for is, as you said, Jack, is like where are we going to get points from other than Demi and Georgie? And as you said, if we can have one or two of these other guys step up, you'd like to think you have a chance in this one. Yuki running the point, taking care of the ball. I really like to think that we're in a decent spot. We're just going to have to keep pace with this Wabash team in terms of scoring.
Absolutely. 33 scares me a little bit. He's got some tattoos. Those are intimidating.
Yeah, I think what is that on that right arm?
Yeah, watch it. He's got the
something.
sleeve and then something up high. Look out for him.
You wonder when he's going to finish off that sleeve, though. It's got a couple extra spaces there, but I'm sure he's working on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, in college, tattoos are expensive. There we go. That's key. And we're going to win this game. Getting the tip, that matters more than anything.
Well, thank you for everyone who's joined us on our inaugural Yo Cast. I hope we have a good day. It's going to be a bit of informal, and we are going to get underway here. Oberlin, get that shot early. Jack, keep explaining to us how we've seen this Oberlin team. I'm a bit of a lay basketball fan.
Yeah, so really what you're looking at, this Yeoman squad's built around its two big players on the inside, 44-23. The two Montenegrin towers, as I'm calling them. They've come to America and they've balled out in the NCAC. Demi and Georgie, as we call them. I'm not going to try to say their last names. I will do it wrong. But those two lead this team in scoring. They lead them in rebounding. They lead them in usage. They are who this team runs through. They're both there on the blocks right now. Georgie getting the ball, looking to go into Demi. Demi backing him down. And I don't know what happened here. Offensive 3 seconds, I think. But those two are sort of what this team runs through. And then you've got Yuki Akubo, I believe is how you say his last name, number 11. He's our point guard. He's the distributor. He's kind of who runs the ship, sort of a Chris Paul-like player comparison. Very calm with the ball, very cerebral, and a very pesky little defender who loves to get steals. And so he's sort of sets the tone, and then Demi and Georgie sort of bring it home, so to speak.
There's a packed Wabash squad, or packed Wabash house at least. I like this new gym they've got going. The glass doors in the back.
It's beautiful. Yeoman lighting it up early, 2 threes. They like to do this a lot where they set Georgie or Demi up on the high block on the top of the key, basically almost the 3-point line. We'll see it again if they get another offensive possession. And Tattoos misses it. There we go. He's having a bad game. I'm calling it.
I mean, if he completes the sleeve, he'll probably make that one.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's on his shooting arm too,
Yeah, I know. Can't think that's good for the shooting form. I don't know about you guys, but that can't be working.
I mean, he must have had to take some time off from the gym just to let those tattoos set, and
Absolutely.
That's missed shot opportunities.
Another miss.
A thing that I've noticed early on is the Yeomen making the Little Giants take these kind of risky layups from decent range. You'd like to see them continue to do that as we go forward. Those are, they got the first one to go, but these are tough shots early on.
And that's what you want to see. And the great part is they're not going to sacrifice any size when they go to the bench. They got Milun, who's a third Montenegrin. He's a freshman, 6'10", an absolute bruiser. He's getting accustomed to American ball a little bit, but they can go 3 deep in their big rotation and not sacrifice any height, make a lot of layups and close contested shots difficult. And it looks right now like Wabash, that's how they're trying to score. Here we go, tattoos again. The Division III Larry Bird.
Love that comparison, Jack.
Come on, that's never going in. As two baseball players, what's it like when you come up against somebody who's got a lot of tattoos like that? Like, as one athlete to another, somebody you don't know, or maybe a guy you've played against for 1 or 2 years, what's it like seeing somebody who either adds a tattoo or had one from the start? Do you ask them about it? Do you judge them? Like, what goes through your mind?
Well,
Well,
generally,
it's definitely intimidating.
I'll let Max go ahead first, but I have some thoughts.
Absolutely an intimidating factor. I would say I'd like to get a closer look, to see if I would want to wear those tattoos, maybe some stylish ink, but if they're not to my liking, it might be not as intimidating as I once originally thought. And from how they're shooting it, and here we got a fast break, Oberlin's looking good and taking advantage of those maybe unstylish tattoos.
A little long on that.
Keep him in the corner. And without even really seeing it, the score's already 11-2. Yuki with a great steal there. He loves doing that, having the guy come around the top of the screen, reaching around. It's a safer way. It's not really going to get a reach and call as much if you can do it right. And he's really figured it out. But, a really great start to this Yeoman. As I said, it was one of the keys. They got to rise up to the moment, and they're doing it. Oh.
You love to see this early defense, but you look at little opportunities like that fast break there, especially for a team that struggled, to finish close games early on in the year. And even looking back to last year, you want to see those chances get converted. These games a lot of times have come down to a couple possessions, and those can really be the difference late in the game. It doesn't always feel like it early in these games, but we gotta be converting, early and often.
Yeah, this Wabash squad is definitely 25th in the nation. They can take punches and they know how to give them back. So you're right, John. We got to keep converting because they're gonna settle into this game before you know it. And that 8-point lead right now is not gonna feel so big.
Going back to the tattoos point, I'd say in baseball it's a pretty different feel for sure. Because in basketball, you got the whole arms to show off, but in baseball you're mostly looking at guys who have the full sleeve. So it's definitely an interesting relationship. And 33 over here has got the thing up his shoulder, but in baseball you wouldn't get to see that one. So you're looking at true tattoo aficionados more so in baseball than maybe here somebody who's clearly just starting to work on it.
Yeah, you definitely get a lot more how would you put it? A lot more landscape to work with, a lot more real estate.
Definitely.
And same too with the, a leg tattoo, a thigh tattoo, basketball. I was always a fan. I played in high school. I was never anything special, obviously. That's why I'm doing a broadcast. But I was always a fan of the short shorts. Kind of like number 2's wearing here. But here we go. We're getting the start. This feels like a full college, I'm watching a game on ESPN here.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this Wabash setup on the live stream. They've got I remember Max and I were watching one of their football streams earlier. They had a lot of different angles here. Very impressive.
Their networking ability and I guess communications department is fantastic at Wabash. Fantastic. I'll give them that much credit.
They had a great show for that DePaul Wabash football game that we watched earlier in the year, Max. That was something. Quite the matchup. It's also a surprising result if you remember that one.
Heartbreak for Wabash in the final versus DePaul.
And we're seeing here one sub, Andrew coming off. We call him AG. He was the starting 3 spot. Subbed on Asan. Asan's a crazy good defender. Easily the best defender on this Oberlin team. Been working on his offensive game a lot. He had a nice little bounce pass through the lane to Demi there, who was posting up. He's a great player. He's gotten a lot more physically bigger this year. I think he's put on probably 20, 25 pounds over the summer. Will strokes it. He's known to do that. He can get hot, but And there's the timeout. I was wondering when it was going to come. A lot of times these early runs, a coach is going to try to call a timeout, stop the bleeding, let your players get into it. It's like the Wabash side electing to maybe see if his players could right the ship themselves. But you got a 14-point deficit here with 14 minutes left in the first half. You really got an uphill battle now.
God, you love to see this start, guys, from the Yeomen. Jack, you pointed it out earlier, getting off to a fast start, such a huge opportunity against a top 25 team in the nation. This is really, if you're the Yeoman coaching staff, you are ecstatic about how the boys have come out early. This is great stuff.
I think in this timeout, we're going to take a brief second to fix a couple of technical difficulties we're experiencing. So we might have to end the stream briefly. We'll be back in less than a couple minutes.